Hey people that are interested in cats, the paranormal and things. Now this week we are in York at the Viking Museum. So we go straight into it in a minute. But I was there with Simon, my son Kris, daughter-in-law Joni and grandson Riley. So anyway, I really do hope you enjoy the video, so let's get to it. There we go. You're excavating everything. And then the floor. How awesome is that? So you can walk over it without destroying it. We are here with Mr. Riley. Collections up close. Oh, you're going to show the rocks and the arrows and... Good afternoon.
What we have here is a knife blade that was found during an excavation between 1976 and 1981.
Yep.
It's a small general purpose cutting implement made from iron that may have been fitted with either a wooden handle or an outward bone handle. And this one is one of a large number of well-preserved iron finds on Coppergate that allowed us to learn about Viking ironworking techniques and how well I understood the properties of different kinds of iron and steel. And what we have here is a quartz chip block, and it's fused together with...
Which, this one or
this one?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's fused together with traces of gold present, and they were used in a process called parting, which was used to refine precious metals. And what's so interesting is that an analysis of this quartz chip showed droplets of gold trapped between the quartz chips, and because it's so precious, the only waste gold we find tends to be in the form of tiny droplets.
Cool. There's all sorts here, isn't there? At least it's all preserved. You're a volunteer here as well?
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Very welcome.
Is there? That's why I went over and talked to the lady, or the young lady. Alright, some of the tools they used. Which, this here? Oh, the excavation when they were doing it. And then it says about dragging it across the screen. For some reason my gimbal isn't straight, but there we go. It says something about stuff. Yeah. Alright, cool. So it just shows you exactly what was... Oh yeah, it's that. Ah. That's a good idea, isn't it? Gets people involved.
I don't know how it works, to be honest. But...
It's just drag the icon across the screen to excavate, just like you're doing it yourself, you see.
I see.
Yeah, the iron knife excavation, and then you can probably change the page.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there you go, glass, water. Right. Cool. So we lost people, or have they gone? Okay. A bit of gold or something, or is that meant to be looking like gold?
I think it's resin to look like water.
Yeah, you might be right.
It could be.
Shall we wait for the ride?
Oh, there's a ride?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Two over right.
Okay, let's go for this ride. Okay, I can pause this. Here we go. Going back in time. Oh, going back again. Great fire of London, yeah. Gunpowder and plots. Solution of monasteries. Richard III killed. Black Death in York. Oh dear. Magna Carta signed. Oh! We are getting there.
Around the time of Harry Alick, the last Viking king was vanished, Jorvik expanded dramatically. New streets, new churches, and a brand new style of houses. It was a busy place, with people arriving from all over the Viking world to visit,
Oh, that's cool.
and settle. In this multicultural society, people have different appearances, languages, religions, and possessions. The remains of part of this thriving city were found down here, and by carefully piecing together all of the archaeological evidence and what we know from other sources, you can now visit the Viking age.
That is not a cat.
Ahead lies the city with countless houses and workshops, many of them newly rebuilt. Some, like this damaged one, a victim of an unintended half perhaps. As ships became more seaworthy, the Vikings created wider trading routes, sometimes using chains of middlemen to carry goods from one side of the Viking world to the other.
Ooh, that stinks.
The shells found here suggest trade with Central Asia, the Eastern Mediterranean and the Red Sea. It's possible that Arab traders like this man made their way to Europe to sell their goods. Slaves were able to Anatolia and Dublin elsewhere, bringing with them the spoils of their raids. Slaves were an important part of society all over northern and western Europe at this time. It looks like this slave trader is trying to make his way to Coppergate. But before we get there, let's have a look at some of the many craftsmen working here in the city. Here's Sigurd. He's using animal bones and antlers and deer to make some everyday objects such as combs, comb cases, skates, and bone pins.
Cool.
Making a comb from antlers could be very time consuming. But what is found here were made from many pieces riveted together and then decorated. We know that the Vikings like to keep themselves well groomed, as we found many combs in the excavations, as well as items such as tweezers and even muskets. We'll now head away towards the street of Coppergate and meet some more of the people who lived and worked here. Ahead, you can see a simple, single-story building. But these older houses were built from posts and wattles and had earth floors and thatched roofs. Most of these houses went out of use in the middle of the 10th century when they were replaced by the oak plank building that we'll talk about later. These early houses were built end-on to the streets and had long backyards with rubbish. It's not likely that they grew much food in here, but they probably kept animals such as those pigs you see on the pen and the fence.
Big rat.
From the many pictures we
Oh, and a rat.
know that Viking pigs were good short and had a long snout with Pigs will eat almost anything, so would it be a great way to turn household waste into meat. Here's the blacksmith's house. Look inside and you can see his wife by the fire. Grummy, the blacksmith, is teaching his son how to sharpen a knife he had just made. Viking made smiths and masters of their craft, and here in Jorvik they made everything from needles to beautifully ornate padlocks. Now we go across to the next property and visit his neighbour, Ulf, the woodturner, who lives in one of the new style wooden plank buildings. Alick is making cups and bowls by turning wood such as oak, brass and coal. You can see all the wooden carriages on the ground which children may have used as spinning tops. By the way, it's this trade that many think gave its name to Copping, the street of the cup makers.
That is smart.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
Another building is being built behind us. Here, the cellar is being dug out and lined with oak planks before the story is added. You can see a stack of turfs over there that are going to be used to roof this building.
Yep.
Looks like the builders are having a rest there.
It does actually, yeah.
This family also look like they're taking a break. The children are being taught to play methatabs by their grandparents. We found a wooden gaming board and lots of playing pieces here made from bone, wood and iron, so it must have been a couple at that time. Let's go back towards the river where big trading ships have been that have come up from the North Sea. Here, traders are unloading their goods alongside fishing and cleaning their catch. Rich and raw materials from across Britain, as well as rare and valuable items from further afield, are brought into Jorvik here. Iron alloy bars from Britain alongside amber, sharpened stone from Warsaw and Scandinavia, and good wine from Norway. Jorvik was truly prosperous, class international trade.
How beautiful that is.
Here's some fishermen cleaning their catch and mending their nets. Fish
No.
from the river and the sea were brought into York, and we found thousands of fish bones that tell us exactly what the people ate, which included lots of fish, eels, and even oysters. So these men are probably doing a roaring trade. Have a look at the man getting the fish. His face has been reconstructed based on the skull that was found in the York. Later on, you see more real faces.
Yep, for the fish.
This next plot is a backyard where the people living here seem to have been dyeing their own cloth. The people of Jorvik spun fleece, then dyed and wove their own wool to make textiles from which they made their own clothes. Natural dye plants such as madder, weld, wove, and dyer's greenwood were all used to create shades of red, yellow, blue, and green. Vibrantly coloured clothes would certainly brighten up streets of Jorvik. On this plot of land, there was a gully that contained dye-clad waste, suggesting that a dye bath had been tipped into it. Limestone lined that ditch running up to this next gully, forming a passageway to the back door.
So,
It's walking in there.
What's happening in there?
The dog.
your dad's been a nutter.
Dad, you know what?
We're now entering one of the new style oak planked buildings. We're still discussing whether these buildings were one or two story, but they all had rooms or cellars below ground level. As we travel through this two-roomed house, you can imagine that the floor at the back is being built, and you can see the cellar below where goods are stored. Above this sunken room, the window openings are only small, so, as you can see, it would have been quite dark inside these houses. In addition to the hearth, small pottery lamps and wax candles were used to create light so that the people who lived here could carry out their everyday tasks.
Open the door. Why didn't you set the glass roof?
In this front room, you can see a woman working at the loom, which was used to weave woolen cloth for clothing and blankets.
Yes. That's somebody else. Yeah.
We're now moving into propagated sand. an important commercial street right in the heart of the city of Jorvik. As you can see from these stalls, you can buy almost anything. Coppergate is just one of the many streets in this city, which was home to more than 10,000 people.
Have a bowl,
The
please.
streets of the city of Jorvik are covered in filth and mud, rutted by cartwheels and potholes everywhere. This leather seems to be having a problem sewing his shoe pieces together and looks like it has Viking's disease, a Dupuytren's contracture. You can see it's caused the fingers on his hand to become claws. It's a genetic disorder that runs in families and seen particularly in middle-aged men. Tradition has it that it originated with the Viking who spread it throughout northern Europe and beyond to travel and intermarry. This couple here are arguing about what to have for supper, meat or fish. It would seem that life hasn't changed too much over the last 1,000 years. They're arguing in Old Norse, but if you listen carefully, you can hear Old English, Middle Welsh and Old Irish all being spoken in this street. Here's a food seller trying to sell this wealthy-looking woman a cabbage of some sort. It doesn't look like the type of thing that would tempt her or her young man. This woman looks like she's struggling to cross the road. We only found 2 complete skeletons in the excavations here, and this one is based on wood. You can see that she's walking with a crutch due to her hip problems and arthritis. You can find out more about her in the galleries to come.
Oh, there's the one with the crutch.
Here, we're in another new building. The first Vikings who came here were not Christians and worshipped their pagan Norse gods, but they seem to have adopted Christianity quite quickly. There is lots of evidence for there being a Viking-era church just behind Coppergate, and there are many other new churches built in North at this time. Here's a priest administering last rites. He would always have worn a stone as seen here, as it marks his priestly status. We found a very small, silk, pink-coloured reliquary couch in one of the buildings. The embroidered cross on it suggests that it once held holy relics, which have since disappeared and are now a mystery. Each property is separated from the next by woven wattle fences. We know from the 5 tons of animal bone found on the excavation, the people's diet
5 tons. That is a lot.
lots of beef, pork and mutton, as well as poultry and fish. Supplying this food may have been one of the reasons for the major changes in the countryside we see around Jorvik at this time. In this backyard, animals have been slaughtered to provide meat and other resources. Body parts of cattle must have been a very familiar sight and smell around Viking Age Europe.
Believe me, it's pen and inks.
Cattle carcasses also provided horns and hounds, both valuable resources for making everyday items. Stomach contents and powder were other byproducts of this slaughter. There must have been loads of flour, bleeding rubbish pits and dumps across the city.
Yeah, definitely.
The red tape, there and fence, there's been a regular visit to scavengers in the city, particularly in backyard areas. Toilets would also be situated in the backyard. Pits in this area were clearly used as there were full of human waste, as well as moss, which is a type of Viking Age toilet paper. This man doesn't look too happy to be disturbed, so perhaps we'd better move on quickly. Here, we are in our farmhouse. In the excavations at Coppergate, we found a few Viking Age musical instruments, including a set of panpipes which can still be played.
That's cool.
Music, saga-telling and poetry must have been important in the Viking world. Iceland and Scandinavia have cultures rich in storytelling, traditions that developed in Viking times. Norse mythology which conjures up gods and monsters living in 9 realms, still captures the imagination today. We can picture what it was like sitting around a hearth, enjoying tall tales of magic and bravery.
Yep.
As we arrive at the end of your journey through Jorvik, remember that everything you have seen is based on the evidence dug up by archaeologists from York Archaeological Trust. You can see some of the 40,000 actual objects
Yes.
found in the displays.
Sorry?
And you can find
Finished, we're getting out.
I know.
What are you filming for?
If you want to learn more about the historic city of York, you can go to dig and actually have a go digging up some evidence of your own.
There we go. Got an axe's head. Showing you all the Viking weapons and riding gear. Wow. Riding gear. Personal items. There we go. It's like bricks and side-fit bracelets there. Clothing and accessories. That looks like where you put your dagger or sword in. Headwear. Hairpins. Looks like they were made of bone or wood. There's a comb. Got the jewellery and footwear. Trying not to get in too many people's way. That's an actual skeleton. Oops. Wow. Look at that. Can't really get to that one. See what it says up here. Here's another one. It says a man from Viking age, Swingate. Yeah, skeleton, yeah. Diet and health. Grains, seeds, nuts. Tells you all the things that they were eating. So I'm assuming that's probably the contents that was probably found in their stomachs. Number 1, something to do with human corporates. This piece of human feces contains eggs of whipworm and mealworm, along with cereal bran. A small number of gutworms were not a problem for healthy individuals. Larger infestations in the young, sick and elderly could be serious. Yes. And number 2 is grain seeds are nuts. Cereals such as wheat, barley contain bran that remains undigested and survives well in the soil. This one is apples, sloes, plums and cherries may have been preserved to eat out of season. They were sour than modern fruits and used in sauces and winemaking. Some nuts. Sphagnum moss. Funny enough, I actually use that with my creatures at home. Environmental evidence. A pig and wild boar. Frogs and rats. Freshwater fish is number 3. 4 is sea and coastal resources. And 5 was oysters and other mollusks. I can't say it. Mollusks. I knew what I meant. the comb and comb case. So we swing. No, we'll go this way. That's right. Then we have metalworking. Number 1 is ignits and ignite molds, sheets, strips and bars, and split molten metal. We're all found. So that's number 1. There we go. Number 2 is knives and needles were sharpened using grindstones and hone stones. So number 2. So there's number 1. Number 2 is grindstones, and there you go, those are all the things that they use, the tools for number 2. Number 3 is crucibles. Crucibles made near Stamford, Lincolnshire, were used mostly for melting silver. Traces of gold and are visible on the inside of these thimble-shaped crucibles. Overheating have given them a glassy appearance. So number 3. 2, 4, 2. Okay, we're missing number 3. 1, 2. There. There we go. Number 4, finished items. Tools included clippers for cutting sheet metal, needles and shears for garment making, and punches for decorating metal and leather. So that's number 4. Nice. There we go. Number 5, this is an unusually shaped blade, may be part of a draw knife for woodworking. Number 5, there we go. 6, metalworkers also made arrowheads, horseshoes, locks and keys for number 6. And number 7, a complete wooden lock cased in with an iron mechanism is a rare find. God, my eyesight's pants at times. Number 7, and that will be that one. And then we go on to the next. See all the footwear. And I've probably shown you how it was all made. And that's tools of the trade. There we go. Woodworking. Barrel padlock and key. Looks like some sort of skillet, doesn't it? A pan. This is making in the home. Household equipment. People ate and drank from wooden bowls and cups. Pots, some with lids, were used for cooking and storage. Some cooking pots still have traces of soot from being placed near the hearth. What colour is that? There you go. Ooh. Spoons. Yeah. Basically your utensils. Cooking and eating. Size of that. That is a pot and a half. Huge. But then this would be for the entire family. Tells you all the food that they ate. It's a varied diet including cereals, fruits, berries, vegetables, meat, fish, butter, beer and wine. A wooden trough for kneading dough and a peel placing placing it in the oven were found the remains of bees and a basket work have suggested that bees were kept for honey. You okay? And then textile making. So there's lots of textiles there. I'd go for every single one, but I'd be here for flipping ages. There's so much to look at. What's that? What's there? Sorry, oh, sock. Flipping it, that is definitely some better days. And then a box lid. The remnants of it. And then, so I know I'm moving a little bit faster, it's getting a bit packed, that's all. It says games and pastimes. So it says this oak table game board was originally made up of 5 sections and 15 columns and 15 rows forming squares. A less sophisticated version was scratched on an oak board placed above a child's burial at the site of St. Benet's Church in York. Then the plain pieces, number 2. So we've got number 1. Fudge. Number 2, which is these pieces are made from antler bone, jet and stone. Number 3, the large walrus ivory die is a very rare and is imported. The tiny die is made from bone, so that's number 3. That is weenie. Number 4, ice skates. Bone skates were strapped to feet with leather thongs. Poles with iron tips were used to pull the wearer across the ice. Number 4. There we go. And number 5, spinning tops. Waistcores from wooden bowls were made into tops by having iron spikes inserted. Some show traces of paint. Number 5. So that would be number 5. Making music. At least you're real. Have to see if I've got any money to make some coins. And yes, we'll be getting near to the end, so I'm going to be stopping in a minute. And yeah, so I'll have to see if I've got any change. Sorry. I do believe I've lost people. Don't know whether that's an advantage or not. Right, yes, I'm going to do one. Stop this. Right. Sorry, my camera was just putting something on. So anyway, coming back from the Viking Centre, I thought I'd show you individually the stuff that I bought. So I've got this, which is a bracelet. It's made of pewter and silver. Now, I've been led to believe it's was it a wolf? So, yeah, just keep it in sight. So I'll put it on here. I might try and zoom in so you can see it a bit better. There you go, you can see the detail on that. So if we can lift it up again. Now, I did have 2 fridge magnets, but they're already on the fridge. So I'll just show you the other items that I bought. Oops, and the bracelet did a disappearing act. Woo! I'll put that back. Hey. Then we got like a brochure. So it gives you a souvenir guide. And that's from the Viking Centre. And then it gives you all the details on the back. And that's where it all is. It was a pretty cool place. So put that there. I always stick my letters in these places. And then I got myself a pen. If I can see that too well, there we go. And then we got, or not we, I got a horn. I'm just going to unwrap that and show you. I could have got the bigger horn, but it's just money, basically. So, as you can see, the cats. We've got loads of blankets piled on the bed because it's cold. And the cats like it as well. So, see if I can get this all undone with one hand. If it'll let me. Oh, yes, I think we're getting there. So, yeah, it was a pretty nice day. The weather was wet, basically, so we couldn't really walk around York as much as we'd liked. And it was absolutely jam-packed. And I mean, it was packed. I suppose being so close to Christmas as well didn't help. But basically, this is my last outing for the rest of this year, and then next year when everything opens up again, we'll go to more places. We've got more in the pipeworks of where we're going next. So, sorry, there we go. And we have one Viking horn. How cool is that? And this is the bag it came in. And you can look on the shop there. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.